Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com here for our fourth practice match with our Sultai Souls of the Lost, where we're looking to fill our graveyard rapidly to either power up the Souls of the Lost or Tarmogoyf, or to get a cheap Murktide out. So this is a really good hand if we're playing against a creature-based strategy. So we'll give it a shot. We'll start with a land into Watery Grave probably. See what our opponent does first, and set us up for a fatal push if they play a creature. Hold up counter magic if they don't, and hope to draw some graveyard fueling cards and one or two more lands along the way. Stitcher Supplier would be our best draw. They thought sees us, okay. Some graveyard shenanigans for our opponent. It looks like one of the food what's the word? I'm not even sure. So I've played this type of deck before. It's very powerful. Make a lot of tokens, get a lot of value out of them, take a bunch of turns, win the game, I think is how I describe this deck. See what we hit. We got these all of these instances, so we'd really like for them to play creatures or something to counter, and us to draw Murktide soon and have the Souls of the Lost for something to work. Oh, there we go. Well, so that's what we were hoping for. Stitcher Supplier into a powered up Souls of the Lost. Now the question is, do we want to hold up counter magic? What's the worst our opponent can do on turn 2? I think what we're going to do is run this out and hope to hit a land next turn so that, well, never mind. Run this out and see what we draw next turn. So we have a 4/5 now. Unfortunate that we have not a black source for a fatal push, but that's okay. See what our opponent does. We may want to hold up counter magic next turn, depending on what they're getting up to. This Blood Fountain. When it enters the battlefield, create a blood token, 4, tap, sacrifice it, return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Cauldron Familiar. There's the battlefield. Each opponent loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. I can see they can sacrifice a food, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. So yeah, not a great target for our fatal push anyway. Gender Brute. That could be a target for our fatal push. So we would like to hit a land, preferably one black source, so that black or blue, so we can fatal push and hold up. No fear getting in. We'll take it because we want to have this Stitcher Supplier available to sack for our Souls of the Lost. Land, maybe? That'd be best. All right, perfect. So the question is, do we want to hold up counter magic? How long do we want to wait to pull the trigger on our own creature? So at turn 3, what's the worst they can do? Well, we're going to wait and find out. We're going to play it a little bit more conservatively. I've played against similar decks like this if this is what I think it is. And they have the ability to have really powerful explosive turns with their right synergy pieces. So we're going to hold up a counter spell, kill the Ginger Brute if they don't do anything else. Or even if they do. I mean, we'll see what they play, but... And this will set us up for a bigger Murktide if we draw one. Yeah, so this is one of their big payoff cards. So that's why we wanted to play it more conservatively. And now we're hoping to draw another land so we can run out the Souls of the Lost and have counterspell magic. So we're going to head and fatal push the Ginger Brood. It may not be the best target, but we want instants and sorceries in our graveyard. So come on, we would love to hit another land. Another Stitcher Supplier. Well, you know, could be worse. I'm not sure exactly all the ins and outs of the deck we're up against, so definitely want to keep this counterspell while we have it. We would have liked to hit a land so we could have held up counter magic and cast Souls of Lost. So we could get in with the Stitcher Supplier. Might as well. Souls of Lost is only a 6/7, but when we cast it, we'll nuke we'll sacrifice one of those. We can block profitably here to grow with Souls of the Lost even more. Luckily, we did not hit any of our Murktides, so that's still a live draw for us. See if our opponent has a second Academy Manufacturer Underworld Cookbook. Sacrificed Underworld Cookbook, return target creature card. I mean, that's not much fun for us, but we're going to counterspell it anyway. It's one of their engine pieces. They may play a land and then run out this Academy Manufacturer, but at which point we can, we still have the Fatal Push that we can use to answer that. Okay. Still in a position where we would like to draw a land. So we can run out Souls of the Lost and Fatal Push something. Sacrifice a food. So we'll go ahead and block. Hopefully grow our soul, not pitch, hopefully not put any Murktides in and grow our Souls of the Lost. Looks like we were not going to hit a land there. So maybe a land or Murktide. Thought Scour. What did we get? Still no Murktides. All right, so now we're really ready to draw that Murktide. Well, we do not want to attack. So the second main phase. Sacrifice this Stitcher Supplier, and hopefully our opponent doesn't play Fatal Push. Seems like they probably do. 14-15. You know, turn 5, 14-15 seems all right. Now they have opponent has one card in hand. Is it a Fatal Push? If it's not, is it something that can let them go off this turn and win the game? Because otherwise we're going to Fatal Push this cat. Then swing in for 14. Bobble. Got it. A little bit of a redraw for him. Sack. They're sacking the food. Trying to find a Fatal Push. Trying to find something. I like this build because it has more interaction as far as it has counter magic. It can fill the graveyard faster, and it has the alternate win plan of Murktide Regent. But I've been testing out a Jund version too, in which we give our dudes haste. They're going to get some creature cards from their graveyard to their hand. They're going to get the cat, all right, and the manufacturer. So the question is, do we want to go ahead and Fatal Push? Where's their hand? Don't we have some cards we know about now? Do we want to get Fatal Push this, knowing that they have the manufacturer coming and that's one of their big combo pieces, or do we want to just go ahead and get in with this for 14 and put them at 5? And I don't really know. I think we gotta play it safe and save the fatal push for the manufacturer. If you draw a counterspell, though, we'll just go ahead and fatal push and then use the counterspell for their manufacturer, and it's a counterspell. So sometimes you just get lucky. They know about the counter now, so they know that we had the fatal push the whole time. This is a much grindier build with Souls of the Lost. I mean, you see we're having to manage the board state to get in our attacks. It doesn't have trample, and so that's one benefit of the Jund version is we play Footfall Craters. I give it haste and trample, so it gets through the chump blockers. Urborg. It's a fancy looking Urborg. Goes from Lord of the Rings. So they know we are drawing the counter spells, so I wonder if they have another play other than the cat here. That's going to be, they already played a land, so I'm not sure what it would be. Discard a card, draw a card, looking for a fatal push, still play the cat to a chump block. That could be a good draw for them. I don't know if it's enough though with what they got the Underworld Cookbook, but they don't have any more lands this turn, and they're dead. They have to block or they're dead, so that's going to slow down the synergies that they would get with this creature. Will they be able to stall out? Well, that's why we play Ottawa or Saurian City, I guess. Oh, it just taps for blue or black now, huh? Well, sometimes you just run hot, and we have definitely ran hot. Oh no, I put it in the wrong one. Oh man, what a punt. The ultimate punt. The ultimate punt. I clicked the wrong creature. Oh man, what a punt. Oh man, that's another thing that would never happen in real life. You would never target your own creature. All right, well, we're back to square one, and our opponent's probably going to win this game now, but oh man, I can't believe that happened on camera. Anyway, sometimes you click too fast, and that is, I was so excited. I have no idea why I clicked my own creature other than just sloppy play, not paying attention. So we'll find out how much it punishes us. That was that was us winning the game. Now our opponent's probably going to get there. So embarrassing, so painful, so painful. So painful. All right, well, let's see if we can make a comeback here. Let's try that again. No, it's a 16-7. 16-17. I still can't get over it. I can't get over it. Now our opponent has all their shenanigans, blockers for days. We drew the right answer. We were running so hot. I even said it. Sometimes you run hot, and then bam, we targeted our own creature like a fool. Oh man. You know, that's not the first time I've almost done something like that, but I have not done it before. Now I've done it. Murktide would be good right now. close out this game. Bring us back from our massive punt. Come on, Murktide. It is a useless land. Well, it only takes one mistake, folks. We're still in a position where they're going to, they might just be able to do this all day, make a food token by discarding a card, get the cat back, block, hit us for 3. Now they're going to get some cards out of it. Very nice. Well, I mean, this is a game we should have won, and we can see how just a misclick in the most terrible way can cost you the game in Magic Online. Again, things that would never happen in real life. I mean, maybe. I guess you could misspeak and say I target my own Souls of the Lost, but anyway. All right, now they're getting their engine online, graveyard shenanigans. You're going to be able to cast multiple chump blockers, so you can kind of see the power of this deck. We had our small window. See the power of the deck and its way of generating lots of tokens, lots of artifacts, lots of card advantage from the graveyard. If we hit a Murktide, it may not be too late, but we need to hit it this turn. We could crack this fetch to thin out our deck. I can't believe we had the answer. All right, so we have 1 Murktide. We have 3 in our deck. Opponent has to, they can't attack yet because if we draw a kill spell, we can swing in for lethal. Go ahead and get another land because we're running low. All right, Murktide maybe, or multiple kill spells. Probably just the Murktide is our best. Not a diluted delta though. We're at 10, so they're going to have to block, but then they can continuously get back this guy. And anytime they make a food, which I think is going to be pretty regularly, and they're about to get a bunch of card struck. So I think we missed our window after that massive punt. I could just shame scoop the whole match, but I'd rather play it out. This is an interesting. Now it's even harder for our Murktide to get there, and this card can do damage, so if they have enough food tokens, they'll just kill the Murktide, and we're on a very fast clock with the Construct. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll see one more draw. This is why Trample is so important for this card. It's just, you can chump block for days. And now they're probably going to get to go more or less infinite. Oh man, what a frustrating way to lose. And at this point, I'm not sure if even a Murktide is going to get us out of this conundrum, because they'll probably be able to get 4 food tokens on their next turn and then kill it with Asmo, this guy, this lady, Asmo, Rana, Marda, Kadice, then Kadala Car. All right, let's see what we draw. Murktide or Scoop? Force of Negation, yeah. All right, well, on to game number 2. If this is a more fun matchup, I'd be a little bit more excited about playing 2 more games, but this is not a very fun matchup, to be honest. Non-creature, opponent's paid. I mean, the Spell Pierce could be good for some of their opponents saying GG. I mean, opponent's nice, so thanks, opponent. Appreciate it. It was a good game. It was still a good game. Had I won and not punted, it would have been a good game. It was a little bit of back and forth, and I played it correctly, but you're able to close out the game quickly after my punt with all of your got your combo online and was making a bunch, and we're making a lot of tokens. Pretty cool. The deck seems fun. Lots of clicks though. Force negation could be good. Leyline seems like a auto include. Spell Pierce can be powerful. Thought Seize, I don't even know. Fatal Push had its moments, but is not as good. So maybe we take out like that, and imagine our opponent will be bringing in ley lines of their own. So why don't we go and bring in some Terra Sunders, just get out the... You know what, let's go ahead and bring in Assassin's Trophies instead, because we can then still destroy our opponent's ley line if they play one, but also have the flexibility for 2 mana to kill their creatures. Alright, game 2, trying not to punt this one away. Alright, this looks pretty good. We have only 1 land, but we have a redraw, a Thought Seize, ley line. Hopefully we will draw into some lands. We'll save everything. See if we have to Spell Pierce, a Cookbook or something like that, or one of their 1 mana spells. So if they do something like that, we'll do Watery Grave. Or they could just Thought Seize us. I mean, the blood token's nice. I don't know if we care that much about it. I think we'll save our Spell Pierce for something else. Now, the Tarmogoyf is pretty awkward. We really like to get a green source now after fetching up a black-blue source. Another Thought Seize is not ideal. There's the Cookbook. I honestly don't even know what to take. We're going to be able to take one of these two and then the other thing. Let's take the Cookbook. I mean, the Cauldron's Familiar is good, and we're missing our land drop. The Cauldron Familiar is good for them, but with the Leyline out, it's kind of a dead card. Their ability to discard anytime they want makes their deck. It's one of the engines of their deck. Even though the graveyard's shut down, and I don't think it's going to be that important, it's still their biggest upside, I think. Okay, well, we have another Thought Seize we can cast. If we hit a land, we have a Tarmogoyf, hit the right land. Okay, well, that's the right land. So we could... Deadly Dispute is going to draw them some cards. This is the turn they can cast their Artifact Shenanigan guy. We don't have the answer. I think we're going to want just a clock at this point. We're going to trust that they don't draw what they need off the top. Run out this Tarmogoyf. It's only a 3/4. And then next turn, if they try to block it, and then we can Spell Pierce. What they'll do is probably hold back the Cauldron's Familiar for blocking, cast this Deadly Dispute if they don't draw something better to draw some cards. Looks like they might have drawn exactly what they needed. Yep. Well, sometimes your opponent runs hot. So that was not in their hand when we Thought Seize the first time. So they had to have drawn it either last turn or this turn. That was the worst draw for us. Best draw for them, I think. Let's see if we can hit another land here. Murktide Regent. Well, that's not a bad card for us. We only have the 2 This would be a 5/5. Okay, so we're in a position where we're going to take away their Deadly Dispute and have Spell Pierce back up for something, unless they have something better, which another Academy manufacturer. So that's right now, that's really good for them. I'm not sure. Maybe we should have taken the Academy manufacturer and held up the Spell Pierce for Deadly Dispute. It's probably the right play. They would have run out the Academy manufacturer though instead, to be honest. So right now, they just need a way to make clues or treasures or food. That's what they're looking for. So, and that will get their shenanigans online. Hopefully, whatever they cast can be spell pierced, and then we'll have a bigger Murktide. Maybe not 2-turn. Oh, it's just a creature. And you got to go search up for the cookbook. At least we can spell pierce the cookbook. And opponent's running hot. Managed to draw into one of their better engine cards too. Although I can't complain. We should have won that game for sure. Last game. our very bad punt. Alright, so we got the spell pierce the cookbook, which is good, as that is one of their engines. So good for us. Will it be enough? We're at 9 life. You kind of just want to hit land, to be honest. Yep, they're just going to go in, get in the beats. It's our Tarmogoyf, still 3/4. Still unimpressive 3/4. A kill spell that we can use to get rid of this are a land. Would be good. Souls of the Lost is a 4/5. So if we play them, they're at 13. If we play the Murktide, it's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7/7, and that's a 2-turn clock with counterspell backup. And it would take 3 food tokens to kill. It would also shrink this into a basically terrible. Alright, I think Murktide is the way we have to go here. Souls of the Lost could be it's a double land. Souls of the Lost can at least, it's a 3/4 still, hold down the 4. Tarmogoyf's now just a 1/2. It's basically a chump blocker unless we draw a way to fill our graveyard. But chump blocking is okay at this point, so our opponent can, if they can just not draw some of their pieces, which I think their deck is full of pieces. I mean, this is the main piece, so yep. Get a food, which gives them a clue and a treasure. Yeah, tough way to go out with losing game 1 and now game 2 looking like it's slipping away with a one land keep. Although we are 2 turns away if we can find some way to answer their this card, for instance, the Asmo. Okay, they're going to draw a card, maybe hoping to get a land. There it is. We were at 7, so I mean they're going to hit us if they won't. They could hit us, but they probably are not going to attack, to be honest. So we would love an Assassin's Trophy right now. That's our best draw. So do we have many food tokens? They have just 1. I don't know if they can make another one. Do we really want to go to 6? Looks like a free block. Could be a free attack. We'll block. I mean, we might as well compound our mistakes. If they have it, they have it. If they can make another food token or treasure token or blood token, right? If you would create a clue food or not blood at least. All right, see if they have two. That way, did you get a second food? At which point we'll have just punted our way to defeat on both games. Okay, so I read the bluff right, at least. Counterspell's not where we want to be at. However, they only have 2 cards, and we know it's not a way to generate food and blood or food and treasure or whatever. So what we could do, we're not dead on board, right? 4 damage, we have a chump blocker. I think we're just going to hold up our counter magic, keep our shields up, and hope to get there off the back of this counter spell and maybe salvage this game and salvage this match. They're still going to be able to make a bunch of food with this, so they'll get the 2 food tokens. Will they have enough to kill our Murktide Regent, though? Just a land. Going all in. And I'm assuming our opponent's about to scoop or die, one or the other. Another Murktide. All right. Oh man, they do have the Gilded Goose as a flyer, and they can gain some life. I think we have to attack, though. They're going to keep the Gilded Goose. What do we have here? That's where they can keep their Gilded Goose alive. Go to 2. So we could go shields down and hope that they'll get a food token off of this and a second food token, and we hope they don't draw another way to make a food token. And shields down either with Souls of the Lost or this Murktide Regent for just as a 3/3 to make sure they die. They're still going to be able to generate the food tokens to stay alive. I mean, I think we just have to... That Gilded Goose, man. Yep. Now they're going to make a bunch of food. So now they're going to get 2 food tokens. Next turn, make 2 more. Kill the Murktide. Yeah, I think they're going to get there. So probably... No, they just get the 1 food token. Okay, good. Keep thinking this doubles up all tokens, but it just makes, if you make a food, you get the other 2. If you make one of these, you get a food. So we'll see. We might still be okay. They're going to get the 2 food tokens, so we're running out of ways. We need a kill spell. I mean, we play so many kill spells. So what we really need is a Fatal Push or any kill spell to get rid of this Gilded Goose to get in get in 1 hit. We're still going to counter something that produces tokens. Opponent's thinking. One time, we haven't drawn much land this entire game. We're probably due to draw some land, but we would really like to just hit a Fatal Push or an Assassin's Trophy. Because we're dead next turn on that attack, so they'll be able to chump block. Kill whatever we play, probably with food tokens. Kill spell. another useless counterspell. Okay, well. So this is what I would, as opponent, you block with the Gilded Goose, then you make the tokens, then you make a food token, and then you use the food token to kill my blocker, and then we're dead. That's how you do that. So that's what they're going to do. Okay, or they're just going to gain some life. Maybe they already have a way to make more tokens next turn. So I guess this keeps us from scooping, because they only have the one food token now. We're dead on board, so we have to commit something to the battlefield. The Tarmogoyf is a current 2/3, or we could do a Murktide. It's a 3/3. This means, let's see, 2 food tokens deal 6 damage. Okay, so we're gonna do. We can't even cast a Murktide. Sad face. Can we go all in with the Souls of the Lost so we can at least profitably block? All right. If they have a way, shields are down. We just could not draw another land. We drew counter spells instead of kill spells and instead of lands. Yeah, we're still in it. So if these 3 cards have no way to create tokens, then we have a chance. If they do have a way to create a token, then we are dead. They'll get a food token, kill our blocker, swing in for lethal. What a way to go. Targeting, clicking too fast and hitting my own creature. We'd be going to game 3 right now if they do have a way. If they don't, then we got lucky, double lucky. Painful, painful. Let that be the lesson to you kids. Don't click too fast. Drawing a card, they must still not have it. Are we getting lucky? They really need a cookbook would be the best draw. Come on, fade a draw, fade a draw. We can do it. We can do it. When they have one more draw, they have another draw. They can do instant speech shenanigans. They have all the mana in the world. Just not enough, no way to make a food token. Can we get there? It's coming down to this. Opponent's taking a lot of time digging. Hopefully they're not slow. I don't think they'd be slow rolling. All they need is one way to make any token that's not a blood token. And then we're dead. I wonder if they're playing ley lines in their board or not. Looks like they're going to combat. I wonder if they just hope maybe they have some shenanigans. Maybe they think we'll misclick again. I would not blame them for that. Go to 1, unless they have something. And then maybe they drew a Cauldron's Familiar and we are dead. That would be what a way to go out. What a way if that's it. The least likely way that I was expecting. Nah, it looks like they have it. I mean, what are they doing here? 3. Okay. Just running out another creature. I don't think that's going to do it. Right? Okay, they're going to gain some life. They're still dead, though. Oh, they're up to 8. They're not dead. Okay. The opponent's calling it together. We cannot kill them with the 7/7 anymore, and I think we're just straight up dead. They found the line. Good job, opponent. You found the line. Spell Pierce. Man, we've just gotten really unlucky with drawing. So now we're definitely dead. We can't cast 2 creatures. We can put our opponent to 1. And yeah, GG's opponent. We should be going to game 3, but instead we'll be going to the play lobby. Anyway, that's Johnny. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, punting my way to a defeat there in our 4th practice game against this green-black artifact shenanigan synergy. It's pretty sweet. Looks like a fun deck. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Tanky. I'm Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. Check out my website where you can read articles on my commander decks, my various modern brews, and my science fiction and fantasy novel that I'm publishing serially every month. CyclesGaming.com. Be sure to click that like button and subscribe button on YouTube, and I'll see you on the next one.